Hello! I know, it's been a while, hasn't it? And there's been some fucking changes in it. There's been some... I know I've been away for a while, but there's been a reason for that. So, yeah, there's been loads happening in the background, tons happening in the background. This time of year as well, it gets a bit crazy with, you know, life. And, yeah, we've brought new shelving in. We've had to take the wall of VHS down, which we'll get into in a bit. And, yeah, there's been some systems added. Some systems added and took away before you'd even seen them, and yeah, the crazy train continues. And I've got a fuck ton here to show you. It's probably going to have to be split up into two or three videos, this, because I've bought quite a bit of stuff across quite a few different systems. So yeah, hold on to your bollocks, missus, as the vicar said to the actress. We're going in dry. So we're on water for this one. It's early in the morning here. I'm on an half day at work, and this is my last half day before the end of the year. So, and I've got stuff happening all the way up to the end of the year. The weekends have been really full. In fact, I was in York last night watching the worst concert I've ever seen in my life. So it was a comedy gig. It was, I think I had expectations. So it was the Two Pints of Lager guys, so Will Mellor and Ralph Little, and they were doing this sort of live podcast thing. Now, I remember them from Two Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps, and I thought it was going to be a bit of a retrospective on that. I've never listened to their podcast, but fucking hell, it weren't funny. I'm sorry, lads. They just asked about, and yeah, I mean, a lot of people there were interested in it. It was at the York Barbican Theatre, and we had a nice day in York anyway, you know, and a nice meal at Ask Italia, and yeah, we made the most of it, but I didn't get back till like nearly midnight last night, so, and it wasn't worth it. But anyway, so here we are. Now this is all Nintendo. It's cardboard, but it is also disc based as well, Nintendo, because of something that's happened in the background. So before I get into it, go and get yourselves a brew, get a beer, do whatever you need to do, have a shit, a shave and haircut, and settle down and relax. I'm at 1,000 miles an hour at a minute. It's just crazy. I don't know how I found time to do this even. And I've still got so much to do this year as well. We'll try and go in chronological order, but I'll just start picking them up and showing them you, and there'll be a little story about each one. So Super Nintendo, we did that video a while back. So I got a Super Famicom, and I showed the first 5 games, and I've just reviewed my video because I've forgotten what games I showed in that video, and I just need to remove Star Fox because I've already shown you that. So that's one out here, but there's quite a few. So we'll just jump straight in basically and get on with it. So the first one is, in my opinion, and it is my opinion, one of the best, if not the best shooter on the system. I think arguably it is, and it's Axelay. Now I'm aware that there may be some glare from the window here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them all out of the box protectors as I show them you. And this one particularly is in really nice condition. Did have to pay over the odds for this. Now I've not owned this on any other format, so I didn't have it on PAL and I didn't have it on US, but I basically bought this from a little shop in town when I had my I think I had a PAL system at the time, so I probably had the Mario PAL pack at the time, and I had a little, you know, one of those little dodgy adapters. Didn't even have a case around it, my adapter. It was literally a board, like from PCBWay, with the bit on the top, you know, the socket on the top and the socket on the back, and you plugged it in and it was all wobbling. It was a bit dodgy to say the least, but we had Axelay. I bought Axelay from that shop. I think back in the day, I'm sure it was about 65 quid. Even then it was expensive, and this has doubled in price. So you can guess what I paid for this one, but it's pun, this one, boys. It is absolute pun. Yeah, really nice condition, this. Very square, hardly any shelf wear at all. Really nice. Pete's Nest-tastic, eat your heart out. How you doing, Pete? Let's check flappage, which I believe is as crisp as a nun's knickers, as they say. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, flaps are good. The nun's flaps are good. So, yeah, it can be a bit random, this, isn't it? And this dude, I think this was a Japanese import. I think it was a Japanese import, but look at that. Bagged up manual. Look at that. I'm not even going to take that out of there because that'll never see a thumb. I think this is brand new, this, to be quite honest. And again, a shout to Pete. He'll like this. It's got a bag, Pete. It's got a bag. It's got its own bag. Yeah, and I believe that's a genuine bag. They're worth about 50 quid now, those bags. You can't get them for love nor money or sexual favours. Nice, nice grey on grey cartridge. This is the best copy of Axelay I've ever owned. I have to say, condition-wise, it's the best copy I've ever owned. Even the tray, you know, it started to go yellow. These are a thing, you know. These are degrading. I think these are degrading worse than the boxers. They split. I don't know if that's yeah. They've got a split there. Look, they start to split. They crack. They go yellow. It's a thing. It's age, you know. We've got the little pamphletage with it. Some games on there for the Super Famicom. What's that? Oh, it's a thing for the Game Boy, and it's like a magnifier, but it's got a. I don't know if you can see that. Is that focusing? It's got a joystick on it, so you stick your Game Boy into the back of it. It looks like it's Game Boy Pocket, actually. That cool. Yeah. So what's that one? No. What is that? It looks like a. That's interesting. It looks like some sort of like a modern Etch-a-Sketch, so some sort of writing pad. It's got to be for Nintendo, otherwise what the fuck's it doing in this pamphlet? Yeah, I'll have to research that and see what that is. That looked quite interesting. We've got Regio card and don't plug it into your grandma card. So yeah, that's everything in there. Fully complete. As I say, that I think that's probably, in fact I know it is, that's the best. I've had dodgy copies in the past, which, you know, with tears and stuff on the box. This time I thought, no, I'm going to go in, we're going to get a nice one. Because we'll pay homage to it from back in the day. I do like how the manuals actually sit into the plastic, because when you're taking this stuff in and out of the cardboard, that's when you get dog earing and you can damage your shit. But that's really tasty, that copy. Yeah, I did pay, like I say, a premium for that, but that's shop fresh shit, that, mate. Yeah, shop fresh. Axelay, brilliant game. Love that. Oh yeah, should we talk about the game? I did complete that back in the day, actually. Yeah, actually, I did complete it. The final boss tends to be easy, actually. I found the worst bosses, I think you're on Mars and there's the big sumo guy and he's like, you know, the Mode 7 effects on that are really good and he's like throwing fire at you and it's like a boiling planet behind him. That's quite challenging, that bit. But yeah, Axelay, awesome game. Another awesome game, but this one on the other end of the spectrum of quality. So on some games, especially the Billy Big Bollocks games, if they're not really nostalgic to me, in other words, if I found them later on, you know, through YouTube or through other gaming channels or whatever, or people's recommendations, and there's a couple here that are people's recommendations that I got. This one, it's kind of a standout for the system. Again, real showcase of capabilities for what the Super Nintendo could do even back then. And yeah, basically a stalwart. It's a standard one in anyone's collection, and it's Contra Super Alien Wars for the Super Famicom. So condition wise, again, I'd say it's a bit careworn, this one. But it doesn't need any work from me. It's pretty square, has to be said. It's not crushed or anything or bowing, but there's some dog earing on the corners and stuff. It's what Tootie would call an honest copy. It's an honest copy, that. I believe the flat map has some ding Yeah, it's square enough, but it's got a line on it. But again, to find them like that is really difficult. Most of them these days are about this. I'd say it's kind of fair condition, you know, fair to good, fair to middling. Again, this is a game I didn't have on in the originally. Didn't buy Super Nintendo to play this. See how that yellow that's gone. Look how yellow that is. It's a proper 40 a day smoker, that one. Manual's pretty crispy though. Nice manual. Seen a couple of thumbs maybe in its life. No bag, unfortunately, Pete. And this one needs a bit of help. This one. So the front of the cartridge is quite nice. Label's really good, but we've got a Nougat cartridge. So yeah, this one's suffering from the old plastic degrading, and it's going a bit yellow. So what I've got in here is I've got some more games. In fact, I may have a bundle of games coming as well, because I might leave these alone. They might just be too nice. I think I just need to buy loose cartridges that for super cheap whenever I can get them, and just swap the backs out. If you've got a game bit screwdriver, you can get in there, just take them out. In fact, they look. Just take those two out and just take the back off. Put your game board in to the new one and just bolt it back together, and it'll be better. It'll be better, I promise. It'll be better. And this one's got the bump in it as well, so it is fully complete. I'm loath to change the plastic tray because there's no damage on that one, even though it's yellow. It's telling a story. It's showing its age. What's on this one then? Rampart, Castlevania. Geoman on the end there. And I've got one of those. Again, what we've got on the back here, we've got playing cards there. And actually, Nintendo started their company with playing cards, I believe, trading cards, Regio card, and don't plug your grandmother in warning card. So no bag on that one, but I'm not too arsed. I'd say if it comes with them, great. If it doesn't, it's great as well. So yeah, manual's really good on that one though. So just showing its age, that one. As I say, pretty complete though, and I didn't pay over the odds for that one. I'd say I probably paid a good 40 quid less than what it normally goes for. So yeah, it were a bit of a bargain, that one. Again, a real showcase on what the Super Nintendo could do. The graphics on it, the use of Mode 7, you know, it's balls hard. I've never got anywhere on it really. I think I've probably got to the end of the second level, maybe the third level, but yeah, just there's some real ingenuity in that. It's a great run and gun. But it's also got, you know, the bit where you're looking down on, and you kind of, it's like tank controls and stuff like that, and the stuff coming out of the screen that you're using Mode 7. It really uses the Super Famicom to its advantage, that game, and it had to be back in the collection, didn't it? Contra, you've got to have it. You know, it's one of them games that you really must own. It really is. It's a top game. Contra. Talking of top games. Now, this one was brought to my attention by Rob, Champion 2D Gaming. How are you doing, Rob? Seems to spend more time on Instagram these days. Not really seen any videos from him in a while, but yeah, nice guy, Rob. Met him a couple of times, and top lad. And he's a big fan of the walk, rights and fights. Big fan of the beat 'em up genre, as we all are. And I think I first saw Rob with this, and it's Batman Returns. Now, you wouldn't have thought that a Batman game, a movie tie-in, would be any good, because they usually suck ass, don't they? You know, movie tie-ins, not usually that good. But this sort of breaks the mould. Again, gone up in value, this one. I think I paid quite a premium for this. Condition wise, you can get them mint for ridiculous money. This was, I would say it's reasonable. Again, like that one, it's an honest copy, so it's not a lot of crushing on it, not a lot of damage. In fact, there's no damage, it's just a bit, you know, as I say, dog-eared on the corners. But this is what happens when you don't put your shit in box protectors. These protect the corners, so if you've got a minty game, please get it in one of these. And you can get them off eBay, they're all over the place. You pay like £1 each for them. Get the thicker ones though, make sure that you've got a nice thick case for it. So yeah, just a little bit on the corners, but nothing, you know, nothing to really write home about. Well, and again, this one really shows what the Super Nintendo could do. It's really nice big sprites. The music in it's really good. If anything, this is a really good beat 'em up with a Batman skin on it. That's basically it. But it does add, it's not just, you know, thugs and a dude, you know what I mean? on the screen. It's Batman, and obviously he's got his capabilities and stuff. He's got different bits and pieces he can use. So he uses his Batarang, stuff like that to get through the levels. But he has got some really nice moves as well, which you would expect Batman to have. He can pick you up and chuck you into walls. He can, if you can hear something's going on in the background, it's Eddie trying to dismantle my curtains. Eddie! Fucking nightmare. He's why the VHS is down, literally pulled it off the fucking wall. I'll put a picture in here of the aftermath, which is a picture of him just inspecting the empty shelves. But yeah, I was in bed one night and heard such a clatter and a bang and a crash. Woke up, what the fuck's going on? So he'd only jumped from here onto the shelf and dragged like about 8 fucking VHS down. There were tapes all over the place. Some went behind the CRT. I was lucky it didn't damage anything, or himself, the bloody lunatic. So the VHS wall has had to come down. I am going to put my marquees up here, I think, and some artwork that I need to redisplay that I've had ages. So that's what's going to go there, I think. And that's why this unit's appeared, because I've got my VHS in the bottom here, and I've had to bring it down and put it out of the way. Couldn't have it on display because it's just going to fucking climb all over it. So what were I saying? Yeah. So Batman skinned, good beat 'em up. So yeah, I think it was Rob first shown this one, and I know that a lot of the other guys have shown it as well. I know Pete's Nestastic. I keep mentioning you in this video, don't I, Pete? I need some commission. Yeah, I'm not on the payroll. So yeah, a lot of people do like it, and rightly so. It's a top game. Really good beat 'em up. Flap's not too bad. A little bit, like I say, it's been used, but it's in reasonable condition. Reasonable. I'm all about reasonable these days. If I can get it cheaper and it's reasonable, I don't need things to be mint. Again, manual's nice and flat, but it has been used. It has been opened. Actually, some really nice pictures on the bottom there from the actual film. I quite like the movie, actually, and I would argue it is a Christmas movie. Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. Yeah, you heard it here first. Now, this one's not going yellow on the cartridge, but we have a different sort of grey. It's sort of trying to go, if you know what I mean. If you were to leave that out, like on one side it looks okay, but then on the other side you can see the separation in the colours. But again, not too harsh with for the price I paid for this. Like I say, you can pay ridiculous. You can pay over 100 quid for it, and I'm not, so I didn't. Again, with all this stuff, if you buy your time, if you wait, we've got a bit of delamination as well on there. That's probably because of the way that's crushed in. But it's not hanging off. The print's still there. Yeah, it's an honest copy. Like I say, if you hang on, if you bide your time, you probably find one similar, if not better, for around the same money. I'll be lying to you if I told you I can remember what I paid. But what I do know is I didn't pay over 100 quid for it. It might have been 75, 80 quid, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long time. It's been weeks, and I've been doing loads of shit. So give me a break. Batman Returns. Next one again. We're cracking on here, aren't we? We're fucking hell. Have a sip of your drink. Have a sip of your drink. We've still got a load to do. Honestly. I've still got to have my breakfast and go to work. You people, what you fucking want from me. Now, bit of a story on this one. So again, this is a game that has just gone up and up and up in value. This one that I've got here did need some rescuing, and it is Assault Suit Vulcan, or Cybernator to those of us in Western locations. Do like the Super Famicom version, because I really like the picture of the mech on the front of this. Let's take it out of its box protector. Now, the eagle-eyed of you will see that this has got quite a bit of sun fade on it, on the top and on the sides. You can always tell sun fade because it's faded, Darren. No, sometimes it'll change colour, so you can see how this sort of green colour's going from blue to green sort of there. That's not how it should be. That's sun fade. You can see it, yeah, on the top, and you can see it on the side here. And we've got a little bit of sticker residue. Now, I tried getting, I've got the sticker off, but the glue itself, you can see it started to lift away the print, so I left that alone. You've got to know, you've got to fight your battles with these things. Now, it smells very orangey, and that's because of this, which was recommended by, your friend and mine, Mr. Tutu UK. This is the Rapid sticker remover that he gets from Amazon. So this had quite a few stickers on the front of it. I should have took some before pictures actually, but there was a great big sticker across the front. There was 2 or 3 stickers overlaying, and there was actually sellotape on this as well. And I've really rescued it, which is why it didn't cost me a lot of money. Again, this is hovering around 100 quid plus, but this one was more sort of 60, I think, between 60 and 80. Something like that I've got in my head that I paid for it. And that sounds like a lot of money for something that were covered in stickers. But if you can use that stuff and you can, you know, take your time, basically you soak the sticker in the stuff, gradually take it away. You can see where I think a lot of this times, when you get multiple stickers, I think it's because people put a sticker on to hide some previous sticker damage or damage. And although the artwork lends itself to hiding a few scuffs and a few bits and pieces, eagle-eyed of you will see in this top corner here, there's a little bit of the print gone. I could actually try and touch that in, and in fact, we're going to do a video coming soon. I've got the worst condition Super Famicom game I've ever owned on its way. It's absolutely dead. The box is dead, but it was the same price as a loose cartridge. It was 25 quid for this game. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we'll do a video on that. We'll do like a can I polish a turd video. The box has had it, but it's got its manual, and yeah, so it's technically complete, but it looks like it's holding on for grim death. The box is literally on its way to the bin. But yeah, we're going to see what we can do with that, because I remember the last time I had some American games, the black on the boxes, and this is a black box as well, and that's why I think I can rescue it. I touched in with some acrylic paints, and you'll be amazed what you can do. So we're going to try and rescue that one. We're going to get a new lease of life. But anyway, we've got Assault Suit Vulcan in. The back's actually really good. It's probably the best part of the box. Not too crushed or anything. You know, it's just been sat out in the sun. It's probably been in a shop window in Japan, or because it had lots of like Japanese kanji stickers on it and stuff. But yeah, I managed to rescue it. And that, you can see there, you can see the sun fade. So it's supposed to be silver, and it's gone like a green colour. It's not silver gold, but you can see now the amount of colour change there in that. Shame, because that flap is nice. And again, the side ones are really good and crispy. It's complete, so we've got our manual, which again is really nice and flat. Not a lot of people have thumbed through that. We have the cartridge, and again, this one sort of on the cusp of fading, so the sides look okay, but the back is starting to go a little bit. Like I say, you can swap all that out. It's weird how just the backs of the cartridges go. I don't know why that is. Obviously they were made from a slightly different grade of plastic. You know, who knows? If you know, tell us. Leave it in the comments down below, let us know. But game that I had back in the day, I've owned that on PAL, and I've owned it on NTSC US. And I've owned it on Super Famicom, but I always preferred the Super Famicom artwork on that one, so that's why we've gone for the Japanese version again. Not only that, but I've got a bloody Japanese system. And that is going to change moving forward, because we're going to have a bit of a change up on that as well. Again, a little bit of a wheel and a deal coming. We're going to end up with, I hope, with a free system. So the Super Famicom that's down here will be getting swapped out for something else. You can see I've got another PlayStation console in there. That's a whole story. There's 2 more over there. It's a whole saga, which I'm going to do in the next video. Probably before Christmas, we'll do another video. It's all about PlayStation, and we'll cover that. But I just thought, chronologically, we need to do what I've got and picked up. Next one. This is something that I thought about doing. So there is a game that's only available. It's a good game. It's a Konami title. And it's only available on NTSC US and PAL. Answers down below before I tell you. What is it? What game, a Konami title, well regarded, good game, isn't available in Japan? I know. Have you got it? Quite apt, as we've just gone past Halloween here. It's Zombies Ate My Neighbours. Now, this is not in a box because I bought it loose. And actually, So I bought this as a loose copy, but it came in one of these funky Dubry thingies. So the game is basically NTSC US. I bought that because the Japanese system, the Super Famicom, will play American games. It will play NTSC US. They're both 60 Hz, systems. So it'll play them. But obviously that cartridge does not fit into a Super Famicom. It's the American big purple brick style, which everyone else seems to love. And me too. I never owned a Super Famicom. Back in the day, I owned an American Super Nintendo and a PAL system. So again, we've got something coming that, I'm going to do a bit of a rescue mission on it. And I may end up with, hopefully I'll end up with a free system that will play these cartridges and Super Famicom. So I'll be able to have a multi-format across American and Japanese cartridges and play them all. So because this wasn't available in Japan, and I really want to play it, obviously I want to play it NTSC US, I don't want to play it PAL, because that'd mean buying another system, and it traps you into that whole, having to collect one variant sort of thing. I thought, what I'll do, because I know that the American, because I've done this before, so basically I'm waffling here, I'm making a really bad job of explaining what to do. So basically the board in here is exactly the same shape and size as the inside of a Super Famicom game. The mouldings that holds the game board in are the same on the inside of the cartridge. The outside of the cartridge is where all the difference is. So they're not square, obviously they're round and all the rest of it. But because this isn't available on a Japanese cartridge, what am I going to do? So what I did was, I bought that. Again, that was cheap. I think it was about 25 quid. Just for the board inside it, because that in there now has got a PAL game in it. Because that's what I did. So it came in this and I thought, oh, that's all right. Because I was just going to have it loose cart. I thought, well, that's okay. I'll keep it in there. So what I've done is I went to AliExpress, which I do a lot these days. I've been buying those hooky games. And I bought the PAL cart, a loose PAL cart. I think it was something like 5 quid for the loose PAL cart. So what I've got here is effectively Super Famicom shaped cartridge with an NTSC US board inside it. So I can play that on my Japanese Super Famicom. Hey, fucking hell, we got here in the end. So yeah, so that will actually just plug in, because obviously it's the right shape now, into my Super Famicom. Having said that, moving forward, we wouldn't have had to do that. But yeah, that's kind of a solution to that, And I may actually talk about the another game here. In fact, I've got another one that I need to chuck out, don't I? Because I've shown that as well. I just remembered. Oh dear. Rattling through this, absolutely rattling through it. So yeah, I hope you agree that's a solution to a problem. So yeah, I've got a PAL case with an NTSC US board inside it that will play on my Super Famicom. There you go, there's your solution, you're welcome. Like I said, that was a bit of a bonus. The loose NTSC game came with that. Obviously I know these fit, you can fit all sorts of cartridges in here. But yeah, that goes in there, holds it nice and neat, keeps it safe. So we've got a copy of Zombies that I can play. I like that game as well. I like this sort of 50s B-movie themed sort of thing going on with zombies. It's a good game. I may actually end up buying that again on the US, as I say, as we move forward, because I am going to have the ability to play the US cartridges. So where are we? Where is it? Right. So a similar situation. Now this, I did more to save money, basically. This game, I've owned it on PAL, I've owned it on NTSC US, and again, I've owned it on Super Famicom. Do like the Super Famicom box art and everything. The US game tends to come with a lot more stuff in it, and because of that, demands a premium. And it is Zelda: A Link to the Past, the only Zelda game that I've ever completed, and I believe I completed that PAL back in the day. I had the PAL copy. Again, hundreds of pounds now for this game, ridiculous money. But on the Super Famicom, a lot cheaper. Problem is, it's in Japanese on the Super Famicom. you can see where I'm going with this, can't you? So, yeah, I thought, and I saved, I must have saved 200-300 quid here easily, just by doing this, just by going down this route. Boxes, again, honest, a little bit wavy in the middle there, it's kind of collapsed a little bit, but no crushing, no real damage. Flap is good. And we have, believe it's complete, yeah, so we've got the manual, again, pretty thick manual that you could choke a dozen donkeys on that. We have the cartridge, which is nice and grey, actually all round. And we have the don't plug your grandma in card. So, Japanese. So, yeah, did the same thing. Bought a loose NTSC US cartridge and put the board from this into this. So we have a Super Famicom version that plays in English. Solutions, see? Challenges and solutions. I'm all about solutions, me. Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. Now you might say, yeah, but you're buying it twice. But even paying for that and that is still a couple of hundred quid less, at least, than getting a half decent NTSC US copy that I couldn't plug into the Super Famicom anyway. So yeah, so that was my solution again for the Zelda issue, problem, conundrum. Where's I put that bloody box protector? So again, yeah, I think that's it. It's a workaround. You know, it's a bit of a solution. Works well, but on that one, it saves money. On that one, it saves a lot of money. Last few now. So I think I'll just show these all together actually. So these three were bought as a bundle just for the backs. So these cartridges are all very good. As I say, I bought them just for the cartridges. I think I paid, what did I pay for all three of these? It ended up working out at $5 each, I think. And once I got them, especially one title, I thought, I don't want to strip that apart really. So what sold me the bundle was Kirby Deluxe. As I say, got these at an absolute steal. These the condition of them is varying across all three. So yeah, the box on this one's really nice. It's probably worth what I paid for all three on its own, to be quite fair. Never played this game. Never really played a Kirby game. I know. I ought to, didn't I? Again, I'm not sure in the great scheme of things how this rates, this Kirby game. It's complete with its manual. The problem with this one is it's mottled on the back. You can see that mottling. It's not gone all yellow, but it's starting to try. So that one, yeah, would I take the back off that one? Probably not. I would probably leave that alone. So I thought, well, that's one there that we'll keep. It's a game I've not experienced, so we'll have a go at that. And you know, Kirby games are quite well respected, aren't they? So we've got Kirby Deluxe, and I thought, like I said, for the price I paid for these three, a bit of a Billy bargain really. And then the other two, I forget what the cartridges are like now. So this was definitely going to be a swap because it's Puyo Puyo, but you know, I don't particularly play Puyo Puyo games. It's cheap to buy. It's, you know, all the rest, like I said, the rest of it. But the box is really good. It's really nice. Yeah, I think it's complete. This one, is it complete? Yeah. And yeah, the manual's in good to very good condition. The cartridge itself is not yellowing. So this was going to be a swap the back out. It still very may well be a swap the back out. I can swap that or put it onto one of the others that needs it. But yeah, once they came, I kind of thought, because they're in, you know, decent condition, I ought to just keep them in decent condition and go and buy three others. You know, go and buy some loose cartridges. I think I basically need to buy loose cartridges when I see them cheap. These were just so cheap, I thought I'll buy them. But yeah, I'm not really going to do what I intended to do with them, I don't think. I've got some box protectors coming, so this is the only one that's not in a box protector. And it's a Geoman game. And I again, never played any of these. I think this is like a platform based type one. I again know very little about these. All I do know is that the artwork's really, really good on them. It looks really fun. And there are loads of these. I think some of them are sort of unplayable, turn-based things. Some of them are playable. Now this one is not complete. It's not got a manual with it. But again, the cartridge is pretty good. Now this one and Puyo Puyo are probably going to get the car. You can go and get the backs ripped off them, mainly because this is not complete. It's not got its manual with it. So I think that's never going to fetch a lot of money anyway. That even if the cartridge was, you know, sort of yellowed on the back. So what we might do with that one is take the back off that defo. Moving forward, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Decent condition box and everything, but like I say, not complete. We don't like that. So we've got here the last two cardboard, and then we can get into the disc-based stuff. Might have to go and get another bottle of water at this rate. It's definitely going to be a bloody over an hour on this one, isn't it? You know, we'll see. We'll crack through it. How have you been anyway? Have you been all right? Are you as busy as me? My life is just hectic. Well, we're looking after these two cats who are constantly trying to, you know, destroy the house. As you can see, there's some Mega Drive going on in the background as well. We've been messing about with hooky games. Really enjoying Dirt 3 on the PS3. So downloaded that from the game store. I can now do that without bricking the system, thanks to Brian. And yeah, very impressed with that. Very impressed with Dirt. I don't profess to be any good at rally games. Sega Rally's my favourite. I've never really experienced any modern rally games. And I know that the Dirt series has got, again, a bit of a following to it. People like it. So I thought, you know what, I'll download that for free, put it in there, and I've been enjoying that. It's really good. It's kind of easy. It does the sort of braking and stuff for you. I don't know if that's the mode I've got it on or what, but yeah, it's a nice chill experience. I'm eating through the competition, the campaign, whatever you would call it. You know, I'm getting more cars and stuff all the time. It's really good. Anyway, now this came as part of that bundle as well, and I've always said that the first version, although it's regarded as the worst version on Super Famicom, it was more nostalgic to me, and that's why I have that copy. So it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So that came with Kirby, Puyo Puyo, and Geoman. As I say, it worked out at about $5 a cartridge. So when this came, I thought, well, I've got to like sort of pluck that from the sort of cull or the rip the back off plan, because again, it's in really nice condition. I know a lot of you are like saying, well, you've got to have that anyway, it plays better, blah blah blah, and I agree, it does, but nostalgia wise, no, I put a load more time into the original version, the first release. So we have a manual, not a very thick manual on that actually, but this one is super bad. So the front, again, lovely, but look at that yellow on the back. So not only does that need to be swapped out, which would probably get the back off Geoman onto that and make that nice. It'd take the price up to sort of 35 quid straight away if I just swap the back out on that. But yeah, really suffering from the yellow in that one. Yeah, nasty, isn't it? It doesn't look nice at all. It doesn't smell. It's not nicotine. A lot of people back in the day said, "Oh, it was nicotine. People were playing in smoky rooms." No, it's just the plastic degraded. So yeah, so that with that back swapped out, that'd be a really nice copy of Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And as I say, those in the know would tell you that that's the better one to have anyway. So you know, for the cost of it, which is basically free, you know, once we've done a bit of jiggery pokery here. It's worth having in the collection, isn't it? So yeah, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Of course it is, you're saying. Now the last cartridge I've got here, this is a really nice copy. Again, you have to pay a premium for this one. It's what I would consider, a Billy Big Bollocks game. Bought this from Japan. Based on the listing, it looked really good, and all the time I was waiting for this to turn up, I'm thinking, please have packed it right, please don't let it have got crushed, please let it be the one that was in the sale, because it is absolutely shop fresh delicious, and it's Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4. Now, controversially, this may be going, because I do actually prefer Dracula X. I think it's a better game. I know, you're all shouting at me. But I do. I think it's a better game. And at least one friend of mine agrees. So we're talking about this with Jay, Cybersnake7, the other weekend. And he agreed. He said, yeah, I think Dracula X is the better game. And if I'm going to own a Castlevania game, I don't need both of them. Especially at the money that these command. But yeah, really nice copy of this. Really nice. There's nothing on it at all. No fingerprints even. It's super, super nice. Very, very shoppy freshy. Again, I've been super careful opening it up because I'm more than likely going to sell this back on. This was just over 100 quid. I think I paid 125, something like that for it. And that's pretty good. That's probably about 20 quid less than it's going for, maybe 10 or 20 quid less than it's going for. You know, it is fully complete. It's got a really nice manual with it. Again, been well looked after this. Some Japanese people really look after the shirt. Some of them don't. Got a bag. I might put the don't plug your granny in from one of the others into this because it's got the reg card. But it's got no precautions for the thing, just to make it 100%. But yeah, cartridge is really nice. Not a mark on it. Still got its shine. Look at that label. Yeah. It's like brand new. It's like brand new. That bag actually is maligning its age. I think that bag might have been from another game. Just the bag itself. Again, I might take a bag off something else that's nicer. So yeah, reg card. So yeah, there's Castlevania now. As I say, regarded as a you know, one of the more sought after titles. Wanted a Castlevania game. I have had this in the past. I've had it on NTSC US. I've had it on Super Famicom. I don't think I ever owned this on the PAL release, but yeah, it's really nice copy of that, and I think I'd get my money back on that every day and twice on Sunday. And just chuck another. Well, to get a copy of Dracula X in that condition, I'm probably going to have to throw another 100 quid at that. But I don't know. Christmas is coming up, isn't it? We might be able to persuade the wife to let me have Dracula X for Christmas. But for now, we've got Castlevania. So yeah, that again, that is a, as I say, that is a much sought after, much regarded game. But for me, I do think Dracula X is the better game. I know. I might go and get another bottle of water here, so we just crack on. I think I should just crack on because I've still got quite a bit of stuff here. So, story to tell. The Wii, my jailbroke Wii, or cracked Wii, if you like, that I bought from Carl Woodling 37 years ago, blah, 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 blah. I've told that story again and again and again. Came with an external hard drive with over 200 Wii games on it. And it's finally broken down, Carl. It's broke, mate. I want my money back. Yeah, went to play one of these games that I've picked up here the other night, which is, and to be fair, I haven't really played many games on here. There's loads of them on it, and I think again, it's one of those where if you've got a ton of games, you don't play anything. You spend the hour you've got, you know, just scrolling through the list of games trying to find a game, and by the time you find one and put it in, your game time's gone. But yeah, for the longest time this has worked. I don't know why it sort of started to corrupt itself. It's a 500 gigabyte external hard drive, Hitachi hard drive, and it's been absolutely solid for all these years. It's lived in the loft for times, it's been down here for times, it's been in every different configuration of setup that I've ever had in here. It's still pretty solid for the emulation that it does. So all that was on here was Wii, really, which I'm pleased about because, as I say, it's a full retro setup in that Wii. It's got everything in it. So I'm glad it's still going strong. The SD card reader on it is still going strong. But yeah, the hard drive died, which means I had no Wii games. So I thought, what shall I do? I'll go in and I'll pick up the ones that I played from that hard drive, and we've ended up with 6 games here. The first 2 actually, was because of the one, and then I saw Tootie show the second game, which I didn't know existed actually. So on in life, very stressful, isn't it? Sometimes you just want to sit and zone out on something. You don't particularly want to be challenged, or you don't want to, like I say, get stressed or panicked, or have a game like that that's going to, you know, add to your bad day. So I like a game like this, and it's Endless Ocean. So it is a scuba diving simulation, and you basically just, well, I bob around in the sea and look for creatures. That's all it is. But it's such a chilled out game. It reminds me, not the same game, but it reminds me of that collection of games for the PlayStation 3, which were Journey, Flower and Flow. They were games that, nothing like this, but again, games where you sort of just flow through them. They're really, really zen experiences, and I like that. It just shows you that games can be, you know, relaxing as well as challenging, frustrating, you know, balls horrific. So yeah, it's nice to have these. And again, Wii games, they're for nothing. They're absolutely for nothing. Although I did have to pay over £10 for a couple of these. So yeah, complete Endless Ocean. If you've never played it, have a go on it. You know, if you want to chill out. And again, saw Tootie show the sequel, Endless Ocean 2, which I didn't know there was a sequel actually. So it wasn't on the hard drive, I don't think. And I'm just expecting in that one more of the same, maybe a bit better. But again, fully complete. And I think I paid 12 quid for that. I know that Stuart got a good deal on his. I think it were a tenner. But yeah, I paid 12 quid for that. It's one of the more, you know, expensive games. But 10 quid, you know, at the side of something like Castlevania. You know what I mean? And again, I don't want a massive library here. It's just the games that I've enjoyed playing through that hard drive. There are a couple more. One being Sin and Punishment 2. I believe it was released on PAL. I have good source to tell me that it was released on PAL. But all I can find on eBay at the minute are US NTSC copies. Now, I think this Wii will play them because it's multi-region for GameCube. So there may be a bit of a gamble there and I import one. I mean, if it doesn't work, I can just sell it on, can't I? But that is one of the titles. Again, this one, you have to pay a little bit extra for this. It's not your average Wii game. But the amount of games on here you're getting for your money is absolutely stellar. And it's the Metal Slug Anthology. Available also on PS2, I believe. Is it PS2, the Anthology? And again, they fetch a decent amount of money, these. But you've got fucking basically everything on it here. You've got from Metal Slug right through to Metal Slug 6. Sorry, 5 on here. I'm not sure actually. 6 on it. Yeah, Metal Slug 6 is on it. Yeah. So it's the full thing basically, and there's hours and hours and hours of what's arguably SNK's best, you know, run and gun. It's and everybody that's played Metal Slug knows that it's really comical. The graphics and everything inside it are really imaginative, and yeah, plays really well. Quite a challenge, you know, and yeah, it's Metal Slug. I'm rambling. What can I tell you? It's Metal Slug. It's the Anthology. It's every Metal Slug experience you're ever going to want is in that game there. Now this one, I found this again through the hard drive. I wasn't aware of this game. I found it on the hard drive, and I think it might have been Adam, 16-bit Brit. Can you remember Adam? I think he was a fan of this game. I don't know if he mentioned it. It may have been a video that he showed, and I thought, oh, I'll go and look for that on the hard drive, and found it and started playing it. And this is probably the game I've played the most on the Wii. And it's Batman Brave and the Bold, the video game. It's like playing a cartoon. It's really good. It's basically an action platformer, you know, based in the Batman world. And yeah, it's really good. It's quite a challenge in places. But it's one of those, I find that it's really sort of pull you back for just one more go. It's one of those. Yeah, just one more go, please. But But yeah, if you've never played it, have a go. I recommend that one. And again, you can get it for a decent price. I think it was less than a tenner. That might have been a fiver, something like that. Don't know, but yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold. I enjoyed that. It's good. Now, I do like a snowboarding game. And this is one of the cheaper ones. There are loads across. I know Nintendo tends to release like snowboarding games more than bloody Sony. I don't know what it is, but anyway, Shaun White's Snowboarding was one that I found super cheap. I think it was a couple of quid, and I have played it on the hard drive. So I thought, you know, while I was browsing eBay one night, I thought we'll grab this because it's only a couple of quid, and I think that was delivered as well actually. So it's like literally you find these in charity shops for 50 pence. Do you know what I mean? Who's running about? Calm down. Don't know if he's going to appear. Now this one I got from the Birmingham Black Country Fair, which has just been on. Dana and Ant put there on. I'll put some pictures in here. If I can remember, or can be asked, or can get my really bad editing software working now. So my Sony movie studio software basically wouldn't run anymore. So I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, but no, it just wouldn't run. I don't know if it's my laptop's finally pegging it or what, but yeah, I wouldn't have it. So I'm sort of running on Movie Maker again now. So this is why my little logo that's normally down here, my little translucent logo is not there. Can't figure out how to do it on that, and you know, very little editing is getting done, to be honest. So those are the pictures in. So Tootie, so Fob, so Dana. I'll put a little montage in there. Didn't see anybody else. We were supposed to be meeting up with James. Import Gamer, and he'd been there for the early bird, which is something that me and Jay aren't really bothered about anymore. We did that back in the day. You know, we've got up at daft o'clock and gone to places, but it was just literally for the social, this one. I didn't expect to pick anything up, although I ended up with a bag full of stuff, which again I'll show, because it's mainly PlayStation actually. I'll show that in another video. But again, talking to Jay about the fact that my Wii hard drive had gone down. So we were talking about the Mario games, and these have only just been re-released on the Switch. So Jay was talking about how he really enjoyed them, and although these have been on the hard drive, and I basically played a little bit of each one, but never really put much time into them. So we went with Super Mario Galaxy, which again is regarded a really good Mario game. Now this was from Fob. From Fob's stall. Did me a super deal on this. Fob's going to go skint with me, because every time I pick something up off his stall, he gives it me at half the price that he's ticketed at. So thanks very much for that, Rob. Really appreciate it. You're a top lad. If you see Rob at an event, always go over and have a chat with him. He's always willing to, you know, chew the fat and have a little bit of banter and pass the time of day with you. If you're looking for signs and the marquees that I've bought from him as well, they're really good. You know, he does good good work, and they sell really well, those as well. And they look great when they're. All mine are over here, but as I say, I've got a plan to put them up here behind me, because I think they'll fit better over here and add to the setup. But yeah, so he had Super Mario Galaxy. I believe he had the second one as well, but I thought, no, I'll not buy them all, because I'll just end up playing none of them. We'll start with Super Mario Galaxy and see where we take that. You know, big fan of the Mario games. Played them back in the day, up to sort of that generation. Bought a Nintendo 64 specifically to play Mario 64. But after that, sort of drifted away a little bit, I think, from the Mario franchise. Didn't really go all in for that. So, because the Wii is now back in here and set up, even though my hard drive's died, as I say, that crack Wii will play multi-region GameCube. Now, I'm glad that it was set up just for Wii, actually, because I think if it was set up for GameCube as well, I would have had all the GameCube games on there as well. And again, once you've got all the games, you're not going to play any of them. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, honestly. It's 10:30. How long have I been sat here now? Jesus Christ. So, GameCube is something that I've had the GameCube systems. I've had a Panasonic Q, which I didn't use because it was just too expensive. What I should have done with that is put it in the loft and put it away, because they're a fortune now, and it was fully working. You know, there was nothing wrong with it. But since owning all those, since owning the ones with the digital output and the Q and stuff, kind of got a feeling that the best way to play GameCube games, certainly the cheapest way, is through the Wii. You get a really good signal. I'm going through RGB SCART here, but you can also go component if you want. The actual component cables for the GameCube are a fortune. They'll cost you 150, 200 quid just for the cable. So in my opinion, it's not worth it. You can get a set of component cables for less than 10 quid for the Wii, you know, and you can hook it. It looks really good through a CRT, and it also looks really good through a modern system as well. So a modern TV, should I say. You can get HDMI converters for the Wii as well, but either HDMI component or SCART, it looks great. But as I say, I'm not. I didn't have the Cube that whole generation, so Cube, PS2, and Dreamcast. I didn't have, so I've not got a lot of nostalgia for it. But I've discovered Cube via the Wii in later life. So we've got some Cube games. Decided to start buying some Cube games. The first one I got, which I've had for quite a while. This one actually. This was just stuffed in the loft. Didn't sell it on because it's worth 10 bob and a pickled egg. Basically, it's worth nothing. But it's a really good game, and I never put a lot of time into this. I think I got to the second level once, but it's one of those games that I've always, you know, promised myself I'd give myself time. And it's Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. So everybody that's got a Cube should have this. It's a brilliant Star Wars game. As I say, it's not a lot of money. It doesn't command a lot of money, and it follows. It's true to the films. The graphics and the sound and everything on it are really good. It was a system seller for me. That would have been the only reason for me to buy a Cube back in the day. And I do remember, I think I was in a Dixon's or something like that, looking at cameras or something back in the day when the Cube was out, and they'd got the Cube set up with that running on it, and I was like, fucking hell, that's really good. But I think at that time I was having a bit of a hiatus, or I was into other things, so I didn't go for GameCube at all. And I think it's highly underrated, is GameCube, especially when you look at games like that. Back in the day, that would have just blown your bollocks off, missus. Brilliant game. As is this next one. And again, this one I discovered later on. It's my favourite Star Fox game, and it's Star Fox Assault. Now, this does command a fair bit of money, especially on PAL. But again, I've owned it on NTSC US, I've owned it on Japanese release. But I thought, I'm just going to stick with PAL. Mainly because I can pick them up at markets and stuff. Tends to be a lot of PAL GameCube knocking about. So yeah, I can find them and I can pick them up. Hello, you coming in to say hello? Very rare baby bean is on a video. You gonna say hello? Come on, little lady. I don't really like being picked up, Beanie. Yeah. You alright? He says, I'm wondering who you're talking to. Talking to the people. Yeah, go on. So that one, as I said, played that in the past, really enjoyed it. I like the way that the gameplay changes through it. It's quite challenging, especially later on, the later levels. But again, looks spectacular, and the sound and everything in it. I think that's better than Star Fox Zero on the Nintendo Wii U, which I did have for a very fleeting time, and I wasn't really impressed with it. I thought the control, the whole controller thing, and I didn't really get into it. I thought that was, for me, that is the pinnacle of the Star Fox games. For me, it is still a shooter. There is the Star Fox Adventures game for the Cube, which again, some people like, some people don't. Never really played it, never really put much time into it. I might pick that up though, because it's pretty cheap because of that reason. I might just give it a go and see what I think. But yeah, for me, Star Fox Assault, best Star Fox game. Ooh, controversial. Couple of snowboarding games which I had back in the day. So the SSX games. I think I started with SSX Tricky on the PS2 a while ago, but you can't collect everything for every system. If I collect one series of games, I'm I'm not going to collect it on multi-format. I'm just going to collect it on one format. And these are cheap on the GameCube. So we ended up with SSX on tour. Do like a snowboarding game, as I say. I find them, again, quite relaxing, quite chilled. They're not super expensive. And they look really good on the GameCube. I think it works well. And on this one, for the GameCube version, you get a little extra character. You get Mario. Now, I'm not sure if that's the only one. I'm not sure if Link's in this as well, but it's a little bit like Soul Calibur. So on Soul Calibur 2, so on the different systems, you get a different special character. So on Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube, you play as Link, and on the others, there are other special characters. But yeah, you can be Mario if you like. You can snowboard as Mario, and obviously Nintendo's IP. I would say this is probably the better version as well out of all the ones. It's 1080 degree Avalanche. I'm still missing Wave Race, actually, Blue Storm, because I do like the Wave Race games as well, and I thought Blue Storm was a good continuation of from Wave Race on the Nintendo 64. But again, they're pretty cheap, these, you know, they're not going to break the bank. They're really good value. Lots of hours, you know, spent on these. Again, pick up and play, you know, just have a quick 10-minute blast or whatever. I find I can have more of an arcadey experience on these if I want it. Consequently, don't sit down for hours playing it. It'll just be, like I said, 10-minute blast at a time. So that's that one. Another game I've never played a Metroid game. I know. Oh God, what's happening? Stop leaping about at each other. Eddie has this thing where he'll attack his sister. She has to bang him on the head, and she growls at him. It's all play though, he's not hurting her. But you might hear some growling in a minute. Wait! Keep it calm. Can we keep it calm and nice, please? Thank you. Talking about video games here. So yeah, Metroid Prime. And I know that Metroid on the Super Nintendo is well regarded. This is as well, and I think looking at the visuals on this, it looks stunning. So, as I say, never played a Metroid. I've owned this before, but never played it. So, yeah, again, thought I would pick it up and have a go at it. I didn't want to get them all. I know there is a sequel, obviously, and there are tons of them. And we've got Game Boy Advance as well, and you know, it's across loads of systems, Metroid. But yeah, I'm embarrassed to say, I'm embarrassed to say, never played a Prime game, a Metroid game, sorry. So we'll put that right with that one, won't we? When I get fucking time, stop it. They've been fed. Next, a racing game. So there is the racing game missing from here, and that's F-Zero GX. But that may turn up at some point when funds or sort of fads allow. If I see it, you know, I might grab hold of it somewhere. But for a cheap sort of racing game, this is a pretty good game. It's Extreme G Racing, and I know this is available on PS2 as well. Maybe the systems, I don't know, but I know it's PS2. But for the money that you pay for this one, it's a really top game. I find all these quite challenging. This one needs a good clean, actually. It's a bit grubby. That's just got put on the shelf without being looked at properly. But again, plugged it in just to have a quick blast on it, and it seems quite high-paced, you know, adrenaline-fueled action. Am I reading it off the back? High-speed motorcycle racing and high-stakes futuristic combat collide in an intoxicating, highly addictive arcade experience. That's what we need in our lives. You can tell I know fuck all about it, can't you? As I say, plugged it in, make sure it worked. Did own it in the past, never put a lot of time into it. Again, who's got time? Who's got a lot of time? Which is why I want to keep these collections short and sweet, you know, much like My Johnson. Now, this next one, did have this back in the day, did put a bit of time into this, but never completed it. So wanted it back, wanted to complete it, and give it the love that it deserves, because it is Luigi's Mansion, which you've got to have. Again, you can get this quite cheap if you're lucky. you could pay a lot of money for it. If you're unlucky, I think I paid sort of mid for this, mid price for it. I was trying to get it off CEX with some credit I'd got, but looking at the ones they'd got in, they'd only got the silver one, you know, the premium pack or whatever you call it, the platinum, whatever it is, their version. And I wanted the original one, so I just hung out for a bit, managed to find it on eBay. I think I paid about 35 quid for it. Did I pay about 30, 35? And I'm not sure what that is now because I've had it quite a long time. I don't know whether that's a good price or a bad price or what. But yeah, one, the fact that it's Luigi, you know, it's the first game that I played where you were controlling Luigi. I like the dynamic of sucking up the ghosts and that sort of thing, and it looks stunning. It just really looks nice. It's a very good Nintendo game. A lot of thought put into it, the dynamic of the gameplay and everything. It's absolutely tight. The controls on it are really tight. As I say, one that I have played but never completed, so I'm going to try and finish that. And I don't think it's that much of a challenge. You just need to like put the time into it. And the last one, which again was from Fob at the market, and he did me a super deal on it. And what I said to Jay was, when we went, we weren't really looking for anything specific. You know, we had a couple of pints, we had a walk around, we had a chat. That would have been good enough. I was looking for a particular PlayStation game, which I found and bought that. And then as I was walking around, I took sort of 50 quid. I didn't take a load of money. And I brought a tenner of that back as well. So I actually ended up with a really good little bag of games for not a lot of money. And Rob had got some GameCube on his stall. I looked at this and I thought, do you know what? Looking at the back of it, I thought, I'm going to buy a game based on the screenshots, like I would have done back in the day. I don't know a lot about this. It is a movie franchise tie-in, but I'm hoping it's just skinned and it's actually a decent game underneath it. And it's Top Gun Combat Zones. So I was looking at the back and I thought it looked a little bit like the Ace Combat games. Looked a little bit like that. So I thought, yeah, well, and it was pretty cheap. And Rob knocked me some more money off it. So I think I ended up giving him a fiver for that. Was it 7 quid? And he said, give me a fiver, something like that. Anyway. So yeah, we've got, and like I said to Jay, if I'm just going to buy a game that if I think it looks interesting and it's a decent price, you know, I'll buy it just to have a look at it. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at Top Gun Combat Zones. Again, I'm thinking it's basically going to be your you know, they all started with Afterburner, didn't they? You know what I mean? And gradually got better looking, you know, over the years. But yeah, it looks pretty good on the back. The screenshots and everything look really good. Might be a hidden gem. Could be a turd. I don't know. But we're going to find out. Right, that's it. That's enough. It's got to be an hour and 20 minutes or something stupid, that video. Thanks for putting up with it. I've been meaning to do this for ages. Been putting it back and putting it back. I've got an 8-bit computer system I need to show you. I've got all that stuff with the PlayStation that I need to show you. We've got more Mega Drive. There's all sorts of different systems, different stuff happening all over the place. And I'm not sure when I'm going to find the time to show it you. You might not see me again till after Christmas, although I have got a fair bit of time off at Christmas. So I'm hoping to get maybe a video done around that time. Certainly before the new year, we'll make sure that all this backlog has been talked about before New Year. That's what I promise you. It may not happen. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening as ever, and we'll catch you in that next one. Bye now.